Hey, what is up, awesome people? Shady Wags back with some more Fortnite tips and tricks, and this time I'm going to be showing you how by creating paths you can get the husks to go where you want them to go. That way when you put down a trap, it's going to ensure that they go through it and take damage. I think it's interesting that when I first started playing and I did my first couple defenses, they looked something like this. And then when I played with my friends for the first time, I let them build the way they wanted to without interfering, and they did just about the same thing. And I think that's because that's what they show you what to do in the tutorial missions. That'll work for about the first 10 missions or so, but after that, if you continue building that way and putting your traps down right up against the objective, you're going to get overran and they're going to rip through those things like they're nothing. The first thing I do in a defense is I clear off as much area as I can between the objective and the husk spawns. I like to have a really clean area that makes it easier to lay out the paths. It gives an unobstructed view of what's going on for me, and it gives an unobstructed view for shots for my defenders. And there are quite a few times that just by clearing the area, I found a spawn or two that would be hiding off behind a building or a group of trees. Now that I have the area clear, I'll begin putting down short walls the length of the husk spawn. I'm using short walls here so that you can see what's going on. Also, it does give an unobstructed view for defenders to take shots, but you can just as easily use taller medium walls. I'll leave one spot in the middle in that length of wall that is where the path is going to begin. Now, I'll begin putting down walls and floors to create a path to the objective. If there are multiple husk spawns coming from different directions, I'll do this from every direction, and if possible, I'll try to intersect those paths. Now, once all the paths are created, I go in and I'll put down spike traps on the floors. I'll create overhangs to place ceiling traps, and if I'm going to use wall traps, I'll actually knock out the short walls and replace them with the taller ones. And I'm not going to completely cover these paths with two walls and a ceiling. If I put those tall walls on the outside of the path, that way my defenders and I can still shoot at the husks. If those were completely covered, I wouldn't be able to see them and take shots. And the thing you need to take into consideration about traps is they do have reload times. Even the wooden floor and wooden wall spikes. They don't do damage to everything that walks on them or hits them. They do damage, then they have to reload and rearm. So you want to put plenty of traps down. You also want to level your traps. The more you level them up, the more effective they're going to be. Wooden floor spikes, retractable floor spikes, ceiling gas traps, and wall darts all do damage to any enemy on the tile when they fire. The AoE electric field ceiling trap does damage to any enemy within a 3x3 tile. The wall dynamo does damage to all enemies within distance, and that's about a quarter to a little under a half of the tile. Wall lights stun enemies. Ceiling zappers do single target damage that only damage one enemy. The floor launcher and the wall launcher do impact damage, and if I had to recommend what traps to focus on leveling in the beginning, it would be the wooden floor spikes, the retractable spikes, and the wall darts. The wooden floor spikes don't look as awesome, but they cost less materials, and there's going to be cases where you need to put a lot of traps down, and since those cost less materials, you're going to be able to afford to craft quite a few of those. Now that the path is ready, I'm going to start the defense, and what you're going to see is that despite having the option to just bust through the walls and come straight across, they decide to take the path with the traps. And that's because the husk will always try to take the shortest, less impeded path to the objective without taking into consideration traps. Traps to them are invisible. They don't see them, so when they look at what is in front of them, they're seeing two options. One is to bust through the walls, which is going to take them time, or to follow this path with no walls. And to make this even more effective and to influence their decision even more, you can put down even more walls between them and the objective. Now, walls do have different amount of hit points, and that also will influence which way they're going to go. Wood has the least, and metal the most. But you're going to unlock skills that allow you to upgrade the wall, so you don't necessarily always have to use metal. A wood wall upgraded once is stronger than a brick wall, and upgraded twice, stronger than metal. A brick wall upgraded once is stronger than a metal wall. A wood floor upgraded once is stronger than both a brick and a metal floor. So don't always feel like you have to use metal. Use what you have available to you. Pathing this way doesn't work 100% of the time. Sometimes you're going to think you have everything perfect and they throw you a curveball and they go another way. Other times you're going to be attacked from all sides, or the storm changes during the fight and you're not going to know which way the attack is coming from, or the terrain is just not going to allow you to do this. But you can still use pathing and material durability to influence their decisions on where they're going to go. In this instance, I'm going to build 8 metal corner walls around the Atlas. And then from each side, I'll extend out a path 3 to 4 tiles and place down traps on them on each side of the Atlas. I'll also attempt to block any ramp I don't want them coming up with metal walls. And then to help to make that decision to come down the path of traps, I'll put brick walls in the middle. And I'm also going to upgrade all the corner metal walls. I've also seen people say that defenders are awful. They're actually really good if you level them up and you use them correctly. You have to realize these aren't human players. They don't react to situations or prioritize targets like a human player would. They're more like another trap that's going to shoot at whatever is in range. Now, some tips for defenders: don't place them on the ground. If they're on the ground, they're susceptible to the B guys. When those B guys fire off that attack, they won't get out of the way. They'll just stand in it and it's going to kill them. Make sure to give your defenders good weapons. I actually always give them better weapons than what I use. You can't give them a level 1 weapon and then expect them to take out a level 15 enemy. It just doesn't work that way. Also, don't always feel like you have to put them right next to the objective or even facing towards the enemy. Building a small tower away from the objective so they are shooting the husks in the back as they approach is really effective. And as we start this, you're going to see again that as they get close to the objective, they're going to always decide to go to the brick wall. If you're in a really tight spot to protect an Atlas, an easy way to build around it is to use stairs on the 4 sides. Then on the corners, select the triangle piece and click on the top corner, and this will fit in the sides and it'll make like a pyramid. Just make sure to leave one corner open until you're ready to start. Now place a floor on the top and then place walls all around the top of that. Go ahead and start the defense and then put that last corner piece in.
Activating in 5 seconds. You got this, Commander.
Don't be afraid to be creative in the paths that you're building. Husks will come across bridges and they'll also use stairs that you put down. If you're in a situation where the terrain is stair-stepped, you can always build a platform from the top across the stair-step portion, then build stairs going down like this. The husks will go up those stairs and follow that path and across to any traps that you put down on that path. Here in this defense, I built a bridge coming across this gap and then put my sniper up on top with a view looking down at the bridge, and they came right across. With a good pathing system, you can conserve ammo. You don't have to shoot everything. Let your defenders and let your traps do the damage. Your main priority is going to be going after the lobbers, the baseball pitchers, smashers, and the sploder husks. If the sploder husk is on your path or near your fortifications, don't shoot the tank. Shoot him before he throws it and he'll drop it to the ground, and just let the tank lay there. As long as it doesn't take bullet damage, it won't ignite. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, I really would appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one.